Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. Is the Premier League boring? Is the Premier League embarrassing? This is what many are alluding to. Jamie O'Hara said it this morning, didn't he, on TalkSport? And I found myself somewhat agreeing with Jamie O'Hara. Got Jamie Carragher talking about how so many teams now overly reliant on long throws, on set pieces, yada, yada, yada. And I think it's an interesting discussion point. There are for me not many teams that I look forward to watching now. Of course, being Spurs, I get a lot of, oh, we're boring. Spurs are really boring to watch under Frank. I'm not watching any teams really in the Premier League and going, oh, you play good football. I think Arsenal don't play good football for me. They're just very solid, very well drilled, well organised at the back, and they don't concede goals. Man City are miles from what they used to be, but again, they're effective in the way that they play. Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool are entertaining to watch. I think they do things very well in different moments, in spurts. Newcastle, good, strong, well-organised team. Do I think that they're really good to watch? No. Chelsea, again, are they free-flowing? No. And I feel like this is a bit of a heart versus head moment for a lot of fans at the moment. A lot of fans are concerned about the style of football. I mean, whose style is anyone liking? What style are people watching out there and going, wish we played like them? There's moments, there's flashes from teams, there's spells within a game where you look and you go, cool, they play some good stuff. But all round, football seems to be more structured now, doesn't it? More organised. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with structure, of course. There's nothing wrong with more organised. But I suppose this is where it ties in with Tottenham for me, is I keep hearing, oh, we're boring to watch. And I'm like, well, who isn't? Who are you watching at the weekend and going, oh, I don't think Villa are great to watch. Don't think Newcastle are great to watch. Arsenal, Chelsea, City. Bournemouth, I think in patches, play really, really well. Other than that, again, organised, well drilled. So I thought this was a really interesting point. And again, absolutely, my man Nige, where are the Mavericks? Where have the Mavericks gone? Where's the creativity? Where's the playmaking? Where are the teams playing with 3 or 4 really attractive forwards that all interlink between themselves? And I just don't think it's there anymore. And I think this ties back into when I hear a lot about Spurs. When I hear a lot about Spurs, oh, we're boring to watch. All right, who you want to play like? What is it that's boring? I'm not saying it's fun, but I'm asking. I don't watch many games now and say, oh, what a good game. God, wasn't that entertaining? Now, entertaining, again, every word has a different meaning depending on who you are. So some people will say the game was entertaining because it was end-to-end and the game ended 4-3. Fine, that's entertaining. But when you're looking at who plays good football, who plays really good, attractive football, and I look now, I genuinely don't see it through many teams. And I've had loads of people message me, oh, Thomas Frank's style of play is boring. And I always think to myself, I tell you what, these same people want Glasner, right? Who I think is also a very good manager. Glasner, who doesn't move away from his wing-back formation. Lots of times when I watch Palace, they're very good in transition. But other than that, it's more structured, being hard to beat. And you think, cool, let's get in Glasner. And then the fans will say the same thing. Oh, well, we're hard to beat, but we're not very good to watch. And this isn't just Spurs, by the way. This isn't just Spurs. But obviously, being a Spurs fan, it's easier to project that. I genuinely I genuinely feel like a lot of football fans are after something that doesn't really exist anymore. I think that a lot of football fans now, first of all, I think loads of football fans are stupid. Sorry, anybody, if you're offended, then you're probably stupid. I think a lot of football fans are very stupid. I've got this one bloke called Jeffrey at the moment messaging me, just saying all sorts of dumb stuff, right? All sorts of dumb stuff, right? And what I mean by that is, oh, we're boring to watch, sack him now. And you're like, wow, okay, sack him now. Sack a manager 3 months into his tenure when nothing bad has happened. Cool. You got fans saying, oh, we don't play good football. Sure, tell me who does then. You got people going, oh my gosh, why don't we play free-flowing football through the midfield? But then they want to see players play that don't play that way. Saar, Bergvall, Gray, yada, yada, yada. So I find this whole topic, I find it very, very interesting as a football fan. I'll get to loads of your comments in a minute. But I find it very, very interesting that people seem to be wanting something that really isn't there anymore. And when I look across world football, who is it that I watch and I go, oh, they're good? Barcelona. Right? 9 times out of 10, I watch Barcelona. The way they zip the ball across the grass, the way they interlink with the forwards and the wide men, the midfielders in their triangles. Most of the time, you would say Barcelona. PSG. Most of the time, you watch PSG. Again, it depends what stage of the season. But, I mean, you look at them the last half of last season. Just great football, interchangeable in midfield. Really good to watch. After that, where am I going? Bayern Munich, very good going forward. Bayern Munich, very good. Not so good at the back, but Bayern Munich, very, very good through midfield, up front. Lots of the interchange, the interlink between midfielders and forwards and the pretty triangles and the give and goes. Now, let's have a look at most teams. And again, very difficult because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You have people that like watching, like Danny will always tell you. Danny likes that Italian style with the more transition and the counter-attack. He likes that defensive nature that springs into attack. Other people like complete domination. Pass, keep the ball, tick-a-tacker. Other people like the sit-in and wait for your moments type of football. Some people like the long ball. Some people like the long throw. I think it's very, very difficult in this day and age to really look and say loads of teams play really nice, attractive football on the eye. I'll ask you right now in the chat. Who is it that you think plays good football? Like who do you enjoy watching? Doesn't just have to be the Premier League, could be across Europe. Who do you enjoy watching play? And why? And there's no right or wrong here. There's no right or wrong because no one can tell the individual what type of football they should like. Right? No one can tell them what they like. Like, for example, I've got Arsenal mates that love Arteta's style of play. Hard to beat, well organised, well drilled. Other people I know that support Arsenal find it boring. Well, we're good at the back, but going forward, we're not expansive enough. We don't open up enough. We don't take enough risks. And this is the difficulty, isn't it? This is the difficulty of what does good football look like? What does it look like? What does it mean to you as the individual fan? Do you care about football being good? Is good football slow, methodical for you? Is it intense and pressing? And this is why, when I relate this back to Spurs, when I relate this back to my football club, so people going, oh, the football's boring. What do you want to see? Because I could line 10 people up in a row. What do you want to see from Spurs? I want to see this. Cool. I want to see this. Cool. What about you, number 3? I want to see this. I want to see that. So I think it's a really interesting question. And as I said at the start of the show, Jamie O'Hara talking about it this morning. You had Jamie Carragher talking about the over-reliance on set pieces and long throws. And again, Peter, absolutely. There are many people with this as their mantra, right? Winning football. Winning football is good football. Okay? And you see, this is why we will always have a disparity between fan bases. We will always have a disparity between fan bases. What I like is going to be very different to what you might like, Peter, or what Jay likes, or what Gasigo likes, or Benji likes, right? And it's difficult. Some people liked the style we played last year, right? Wide open, gung-ho, conceding loads of goals. I don't like that. Do I want my team to be expansive? Yeah, where possible. Do I want them to be so wide open that they just concede goal after goal after goal after? No. Do I think the football we're playing right now is exciting? No, I don't. Do I think we've got the players to play exciting football? No, I don't. So I'll ask you this. How much does that play into it? We always talk about the football's boring, but use our club as an example. Use our club as an example, Spurs fans. Who looks at the Spurs squad and says, God, we should be playing breathtaking football? I don't. I really, really don't. Who looks at, I don't know. Does anyone look at these other clubs and think they've got the players to play beautiful football? You would say Liverpool. When you look at the footballers they've got, the technicians they've got, you would say, yeah. You would say, yeah, they've got the players to be able to play that way. Now, that doesn't mean that Arne Slot wants to play that way. Doesn't mean the players will play that way. But you would say, yes, they could if they wanted to. Do any of you watch Spurs and go, yeah, we should be free-flowing through midfield and look at these really good technical footballers? I don't. I said this in the summer. This isn't new. This isn't hindsight. I said this in the summer. I said this last year. I don't think we've got the players to play that way. What we have got the players to play, be hard to beat, be well organised, be structured. You want to start playing better football, you've got to start getting better players. If you want this, right? You want this, you want forward players to have freedom, that's great, but the players have got to be capable of expressing themselves. I.e., Eden Hazard. I don't know where he just popped into my head. Eden Hazard. I don't need to tell Eden Hazard to express himself. He's got all the ability in the world. Lamine Yamal, go and express yourself. Go and do what you need to do. We had that, didn't we? We had Ericsson, Son, Kane, Ali. The four just works. It just worked, didn't it? Lots of people expressing, yeah, no, Ed, I know. Yeah, Ed, I know. I know you agree with me. Yeah. When Spurs had that four under Poch, they went and expressed themselves as a front four, didn't they? All comfortable on the football, all good with their passing. Oh, it was nice to watch. But what did they have behind them? They had that safety net, didn't they? Yeah, they had the safety net behind them, didn't they? They had Dembele, Wanyama. So go on, boys. Go and express yourselves. Nowadays, do we have that? No, because people don't want those two in midfield. And this brings you back to the Bentancur Paulinho thing. For me, we're worrying so much about who's playing in our centre mid that we're not worrying about the four players aren't capable up there of being expressive. Kudus expresses himself, doesn't he? No one else in our team is capable of that. I don't know what this means. Savvy, you're so ignorant. And renewed this competition, but too many injuries. Renewed which competition? What? I don't even know what this is. What's this got to do with what we're talking about? I have no idea what that means. Mario said, Bournemouth and Palace play some good stuff, so do Newcastle at times. See, I would say Bournemouth at times do. Newcastle, for me, I think are a little bit more direct. Palace in patches. I think Palace are very much a team on the transition. I don't think these are teams that get you excited. But hey, it is what it is. Look, you've got. I feel like I do. I like it as a discussion point. I think it's important that football fans are allowed to just discuss and have chat. The world we live in at the moment, you've got people asking for things that aren't possible. You've got Spurs fans saying, we want to play this way. Cool. Which of our players can play that way? Doesn't matter. Just play that way anyway. Not how it works. It's not how it works. If that was how it works, right? If that was how it worked, every team in the country would play football like that. Every team in the country would play like that. And that's not how it works. To play that really nice football, if we're going to talk Barcelona, PSG, let's look at what Barcelona and PSG have, right? Let's have a look at what Barcelona and PSG have. Barcelona can put a midfield three of De Jong, Gavi, Pedri, Fermin Lopez, whoever it may be. All very good, very technical, very comfortable on the ball. They have all been brought up playing that way. Frankie de Jong in the Dutch way of playing. Gavi, Pedri, Fermin Lopez coming through at the Barca Academy. Give, go, pass, move. One touch, get the ball out, go and get it again. When you grow up learning to play that way, and when you are capable of playing that way, your team can play that way. Your team can play that way. You now look at PSG, Vitinha, Ruiz, Neves, all so super technically competent and efficient. When you have that, you can dominate games of football, or you can certainly dominate possession, right? All of those players I just mentioned are very technically gifted, very tidy. You give them the ball, they're not going to lose it. They love to play off each other, right? They love to play off each other. Now you look at other clubs and you look and go, well, why can't every team play like that? Well, look at Man City in their peak. They had Rodri, De Bruyne, Silva, Gundogan. These players all, again, supremely technically efficient on the ball. All very good, very comfortable. You give them the ball, that ball is not bouncing back. Pass, move, keep, give it to him, go get it back, pass, intricate triangle. Now, when you bring it back to a club like Spurs, right? Bruno, just once, Bruno, just grow up a little bit. Just grow up. Not every time you post, it needs to be rude to me. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you've been doing this for years. You must be bored of this now, right? Surely, Bruno, you must be a little bit bored of this now. I don't know you. You don't know me. Surely just constantly coming on and calling me a mug. By the way, the Leeds fan, Joe, that you think destroyed me, then made a video apologizing because he got what he said completely wrong. So just calm down, mate. There's no need. Honestly, people like this, honestly, guys, I'll be honest. I'll say between me and you, I've really been giving YouTube a second thought, mate, lately. The amount of abuse, it's just not worth it, honestly. Every day you go live, I try and just get a football discussion going, and this is what we get. I don't know this guy, right? I don't know this guy. He just comes in and I'm a mug. I don't know why. We're just having a football conversation, and this is what you get, unfortunately. And this is why so many YouTube channels are getting destroyed, because this is what you've got. No one's banned you. No one's banned you. What do you mean? You're here. I can read your comment. You've not been banned. This is what I mean. Just stop. Calm down. Just everyone relax. We're having a football conversation. I thought it was a very calm, very, very poignant football conversation, and people just lose their minds. It's why I hardly go on panel shows anymore. The only one I do is football's 12th man, because it's just it's so toxic. Bunny, I will block you in a minute if you keep lying. No one's blocked you. I can see your comments. If I blocked you, I wouldn't be able to see your comments. You are here, man. Just calm down. Calm down. So now, when you bring that back, what I'm saying about PSG, about Barcelona, even when you look at the likes of Bayern Munich with players like Kimmich in the midfield, players like Pavlovic, players of that ilk through the midfield. You can play that way. You can have this really nice tick-a-taka. Not so it has to be tick-a-taka. You can play this nice way of football. You can play this dominate possession, nice football through the channels, through the lines, keep the ball, dominate, make the other team chase the ball. Like the Pep Guardiola teams. They made people just chase the ball, getting tired. And you could see visibly more and more these teams are getting tired as they're playing. So for me, if you want to play that way, you've got to buy technically gifted footballers. Now that brings us back to, let's look at Spurs. When you look at the midfield options at Tottenham, so we've got Paulinho as the number 6. You've got Bentancur, you've got Bergvall, Sarr, Gray, and Yves Bissouma. They're the 6 central midfielders at this football club. And whilst they've all got their strengths and they've all got their weaknesses, none of those players are natural ball players, are they? None of them are naturally give and go players. None of them are naturally, let me put my foot on the ball, I'll dictate, I will run the game, I'll set the tempo, I'll set the rhythm, the way a Michael Carrick would, the way a Modric would. And this is why when people talk about our midfield, right? When everyone talks about our midfield, I always ask the question and say, listen, this is great, right? This is great. Let's, we all want to play really nice football. We all want to play nice keep ball, possession football, where we all pass forward and everything looks great. But I can always tell the people that actually take a moment, a breath, and think about things. And I can tell the people that just go, rah, 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 rah. Let's say I sit here right now and go, I want to play really attacking football at Spurs. I want to play really attacking football, and I want it to be really nice, progressive, front-footed, attractive football. How would you do that at Tottenham? What would be your midfield? How would you do that? Because Paulinho's not that guy. Paulinho's an absolute superb number 6. He's not that guy, is he? He's not that guy. He's not the guy that goes, give me the ball, I'll dictate. It's not his game. Never been his game. Never going to be his game. Bentancur, it's not his game. Bentancur's neat. He's tidy. Keeps the ball ticking over. But he's not the tempo setter. He's not the one that's going to grab the ball by the horns and really dictate a game of football. Then you've got Yves Bissouma. Bissouma is your archetypal box-to-box footballer, right? He's got, let's be fair, whatever we think of him, he's got a fantastic engine. He'll put out fires. He gets all around the pitch. He wants to drive with the ball. But again, on the ball, he's not that guy that's going to be in a midfield 3 where they're pass, movement. That's not his game. Archie Gray, I'll put to the side because, we haven't really seen too much of him. But from what I have seen of him, he's not that guy. And then you've got Bergvall and Sarr, who are similar but different. And I'll tell you what I mean. Both of them have got fantastic engines. Both got very good engines, can get about the pitch. Bergvall likes to carry the ball and goes past players and drive forward with the ball. Sarr, a bit more leggy, really good when he's putting in the tackles, putting out fires. But again, when you look at both of them, neither of those two are guys that get on the football and say, I will dictate. I will be the guy that dictates the play. I'll conduct the orchestra. I'm not knocking them. It's just not their game. So Spurs have got a group of 6 midfielders where none of them have that natural game. A Locatelli, an Adam Wharton, a Barella, a Michael Carrick, a Luka Modric, right? Declan Rice does it to a standard for Arsenal. Declan Rice can play many roles, but he's very comfortable on the ball, doesn't mind getting it. And Zubimendi, super comfortable on the ball. Enzo Fernandez, super comfortable on the football, right? Alexis McAllister, right? And I mean, obviously the obvious one, the Rodris and the Nico Gonzalez's, yes, a Tonali, exactly. So for me, I think I've said for a while now, we keep buying centre mids, but I don't think we buy anyone where you go, right, that guy should start every game. He's your main man. That guy's the guy. He's gonna run the show for Tottenham Hotspur. And we had that with Moussa Dembele. Different type of player to what I just mentioned. Well, we had that with Moussa. Moussa, you could give him the football and he wasn't losing it. He was a good passer of the ball. He was good at driving forward with the ball. He put out fires. He was strong. He was good in the tackle. He was a complete midfielder. He wasn't a goal scorer. We know that. And it is what it is. Now, none of the Spurs midfielders do that. None of the Spurs midfielders do that. And again, I know people always think this is me putting them down. I'm not. You can't make players do what they're not naturally good at. It's like when we kept for ages going, oh, Romero could be a number 6. Could he? I mean, it's easy to say it, but we don't know it because it's not his natural game. People who want Porro as a right winger, very different to when you're being a right winger versus a right wing back. Yeah, it's very different roles. And I know people think it's not, but it truly is. So this all ties into me that you want to be that team. You want to be that progressive, forward passing team. You've got to buy someone that can do that. You've got to buy that guy that goes into the midfield and does that naturally. And I always say this. Any of you that watch me enough will know I always say this. I think an interesting thing about football fans, right? Right. But Banny, I tried with you. Every message is rude. Sorry, mate. You're going in a timeout. Every message is rude. I don't understand people. You've got the internet. Just watch, enjoy the show. If you don't want to enjoy the show, just go and watch someone else. That's all you got to do. Ask questions, give me answers, but it doesn't need to be rude. I'm not here to be your punching bag. I'm not here to be your punching bag anymore. So when people say I just block people with different opinions, no, I'm not here to be a punching bag, all right? I don't stream every day so that people can be rude to me, okay? I just don't. I'm bored of it. I'm quite frankly bored of it and questioning YouTube in general, if I'm honest, because it's just horrific. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. So, back to what I was saying. If we want to be that team, and this isn't just Spurs, by the way, this is many teams. If you want to be that team, you've got to find that midfielder that is comfortable. Go and watch a Juventus game, and you watch how much of the game goes through Locatelli. Because Locatelli has grown up naturally. You can see it naturally grown up as, give me the ball. I'll always be in space. I'll drop 5 yards, 10. I'll always be in space. Whenever you get it, look at me. I'm in space. Give me the ball. I know what I'm going to do. Right? And you can see it. Wonderful footballer. Knows when to slow it down, knows when to speed it up. Good short passing, good long passing. That's a guy you can stick in a midfield and go on, control that for us. The ultimate at doing it, right? A Modric. Now, obviously, there aren't many Modric's about, but You look at a player like Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton's one. Very, very comfortable on a football is Adam Wharton. And there's not many footballers who are comfortable on the ball, comfortable enough to say, I'll dictate. And Adam Wharton is one of them. And I truly believe that Spurs need to find that guy. Now, we know nothing can be done until transfer windows. But I truly believe that. I said that this summer. I think we need to find that guy. And if it's not going to be that guy, it needs to be a number 8 that offers you something different. Bless me. It needs to be something different. What it can't be is that everyone's a bit of that. All of our number 8s, when you look at them, is there any... I'll ask this question and be on top level. Are there any of our number 8s that stand out? Are there any that really stand out? And again, mate, I'll just block you if you keep lying. I have not once put Rice and Modric in the same bracket. You Spurs, you've started to annoy a lot of people lately. No one has put Declan Rice and Modric in the same bracket. Stop. So I'll ask, is there a number 8? And if you think Spurs have probably got 5 in different ways, Bentancur, Bergvall, Basuma, Gray, and Sarr. Have we got one of those where you go, God, he stands out? Yeah, that guy there grabs the game he grabs the ball by the horns. And I don't think, I know that none of them, right? You Spur, you had your chance, you're going in time out, you're lying. I didn't say that at all. Go away. I can't. See, now this is one that I keep hearing can be that guy. I've not seen this in his locker at all. This, for me, is not his game. His game is driving forward with the ball. Driving forward. I've not seen him sit in the 8 and be that guy. And that's what I asked. And this is absolutely how I feel, Gary. It's that poise, isn't it? It's that calmness, that belief to put your foot on the ball. And not just put your foot on the ball, but have time on the ball. Dropping into the space, giving yourself time, giving yourself that vision, knowing what's around you. What I loved about, let's use Michael Carrick by way of example. Michael Carrick was not a midfielder that tore about the football pitch with this amazing engine on him. But what he was he had this 20-yard box in front of the back 4, didn't he? Where that's my box. That's his space. That's where he operates. And he is that conduit between the back 4. Let's start off play. And those players are so, so important. And for me, I think that is what's wrong with a lot of football, why it's boring now. I think everyone's classed as either a defensive midfielder or an attacking midfielder. I just don't think that there's enough people that put their foot on the ball. And he was definitely not that guy. He was definitely, this is the complete opposite of the player we're talking about. Definitely not what we were talking about, Chris. Højbjerg was a DM. There's no way, there's no way he was that guy. And for me, I think Spurs need to go and find that. I think we need to go and find that. I think we need to get a guy that when you ask the fans, who starts in midfield today? The first name is that guy. That guy. I just don't think we've got it. The one we have got at the moment that is that guy is our DM. Now, there are different types of DMs, as we know. You get the more deep-lying quarterback type DM. Like a Rodri, so to speak, like a Pirlo, those types of ball players. And then you get the destroyers and you get your Paulinhos. And there's no right or wrong. But if you do have the destroyer, which is a Paulinho, then the guy next to him needs to be the one making the play, right? The guy next to him needs to be the one making the play. Lots of people talking about Elliot Anderson in the chat. Good player. Definitely one to keep an eye on. He's growing. Every time I watch him, I'm impressed. But there's not many of those, right? If you actually look across the Premier League, there's not many. I'll tell you who is one. Gomez of Wolves. Neat, tidy, wants the ball, gets on it, starts play off for Wolves. What would he do in a better team? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Just asking questions. Someone like a Barella. I mean, obviously that's he's at that different level, isn't he, Barella? But this is the type of player. Tonali, wonderful example. Wonderful, wonderful footballer, Tonali. Wonderful footballer. And this is the sort of player that you've got to go and find. You've got to go and pluck them from somewhere. You've got to find them. You've got to scour the world. Where is the next Tonali? Where is the next Adam Wharton? Where is the next Carrick or Modric? Like, there's going to be players out there, but it's about the scouting. It's about finding who is that type of footballer. And I think that once Spurs get that, I think we will. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like a Verratti type. Yeah, absolutely. This is the type of player. Yeah. An Angelo Stiller to a lesser degree. Yeah. And at the moment, I don't think we've got that. And when I look at the fact that we've not got that in centre mid, and then I look at the fact that we've not got a good striker at the club, and then I look and say we've not got a good left winger at the club, that for me is why we're not seeing the fluid football that people want to see. You've got no one that can set the tempo. You've got no winger on the left that can create havoc and cause problems. And you've got no striker that causes problems up front or can hold the ball up or bring others into the game. So all of that is when Spurs fans are going, oh, the football's boring and it's terrible. How are you changing that? How are you changing that with the personnel? Again, we keep saying this, but I've not seen any. Aren't we just saying this out of hope? I've not seen him play that way. Bergval's got his strengths as a footballer, but for me, it's not the cool, calm, composed. That's not him at all. He's a driver forward with a ball. For me, I think I want to see a lot more from Bergval. He's young and yada, 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 young. But for me at the moment, I don't watch Bergval with the same. I know a lot of people rave about this young lad, and I'm watching him and going, okay, you're all right. You're all right. You drive forward, but I don't ever watch him and go, cool, that's a wow. Yeah, I don't. Sorry. I know my man Tony doesn't, whereas I know Tony doesn't. And I think this is why I think we need to lay off a little bit in terms of how good is the football? How good is the football? Well, you're not going to play good football if you've got poor players. Hence why we have a manager. And let's if we all calm it down, right? If we all calm it down, let's be brutally honest. We've got a manager who's come in, it's made us hard to beat. Right? We've lost 2 games in 12. I think we would have all snapped your hands off for that in August. And now suddenly that's not enough. Now suddenly that's not enough. Now it's, well, hang on, okay, you've made us decent at the back, but now why aren't we amazing going forward? Well, you don't just make teams like that amazing going forward. You've got to have the skill set. You've got to have the right, you've got to have square pegs and square holes. Square pegs, square holes. Round pegs, round holes. Whatever you want to call it. You've got to have them, right? You've got to have the right people to fit the right parts. And what I'm seeing at the moment, too many angry people just screaming and shouting. We want to play better football. Cool. But then they're telling me how bad Tellez and Odegaard and Richarlison and Johnson and Gray and this and that and Bentancur. So, okay, cool. If these players are also bad, which I don't necessarily disagree with, what's the solution to playing the really nice football that people want to see? If they're so bad. Just because you get a coach in The coach doesn't necessarily mean every footballer is going to improve from there to there. It's just not how it works. Not every footballer is capable of every skill set. Otherwise, they'd all be amazing, wouldn't they? And I feel like as a fan base right now, I'm seeing, I mean, I'm not on X and Instagram and Facebook and stuff, but I get sent loads of stuff. The number of accounts I'm seeing saying frank out this manager in, for example. There's no one wants the time to allow it to develop. Football fans are very knee jerk. I said to my uncle this morning, I said, I feel like the way the Spurs fan base, not all of it, a lot of the fan base are going on. It feels like I fell asleep 3 months ago and I've woke up and we're bottom of the table having played 8, lost 8. There's so many fans reacting as though something really bad has happened at the football club. I don't know what this really bad thing that's meant to have happened is. Okay, we lost 2 games. Okay, cool. No one likes losing, of course, but we've lost 2 games. We've got fans going on like we've lost 8 out of 8. If we win a game with Bentancur and Paulinho in the middle, oh, brilliant. If we lose a game, well, Frank keeps playing the wrong team. Hang on, we won last week with the same 2 midfielders. Like, do you know what I mean? There's no correlation. Tomorrow night, if Bentancur and Paulinho played, for example, and we beat Monaco, what does that mean? Suddenly everyone was wrong about it. It just feels all a little bit crazy. Jamie, yes. Look at the state of West Ham. Look at the state of Forest. That is how a number of our fans are talking like we are. Let me show you something. So there's this guy called Jeffrey. I'll call him out. Who's been jumping into my YouTube, this, that, the other. He keeps saying I've blocked him. I haven't blocked him. I put him in a timeout because he was being rude. Do you want to see the response I got from Jeffrey today as to why Tottenham need to sack Thomas Frank immediately? Immediately. Let this sink in. Ready? There you go. So he said to me, here's 5 reasons why Frank should be sacked ASAP. He made Romero the captain who can't speak a single word of English and prioritizes Argentina over Spurs at every possible chance he gets. 2, he starts telling Odobert every game. 2 of the worst players ever to play the sport. I mean, it's a bit dramatic. He won't drop Vicario, the worst goalkeeper Spurs have ever had. I mean, that's completely not true. And again, very dramatic. He plays Bentancur and Paulinho every game, which the whole world knows does not work. Well, we've won a number of games this year where both Bentancur and Paulinho have played together. So that doesn't make sense. And the football is dull, unentertaining, and painful to watch. Barely an improvement on Ange, and the worst is yet to come. Now, when you read that sort of tripe, that's the sort of thing, being a YouTuber, by the way, I get hundreds of these a day, hundreds. Like, it's just, I read them and go, like, the world is dumb. Honestly, I read these comments and go, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's break this down. Now, I don't rate Tell or Odobert. Let's use that point as well. I don't rate Tell or Odobert. But is playing Johnson and Richarlison any different? Is playing those 2 any different? Not sure it is. And for me, this comes down to the lesser of evils. And I don't think there are lesser of evils. I don't rate any of those 4 I just mentioned. The worst is yet to come, he said in his last point. Well, one, we don't know that. Two, you're going to have ups and downs, sure. Three, isn't that what happens when a new manager comes in and is trying to figure things out? Isn't it? Don't you just try and figure things out? Fans don't want to give you the time to figure things out, though. Fans want you out after 8 games. Vicario. I think Vicario's okay. As I said, I've never been enamored with him. I don't look at him and think he's a top keeper. I don't look at him and think he's a terrible keeper. It is what it is. But suddenly, Vicario's the worst goalkeeper we've ever had. Now, by the way, this is just one comment. This is one comment. I get these all day, every day. So Vicario's now gone from being unsteady to the worst keeper Tottenham Hotspur have ever had. Now, I'm 42 years of age. I can assure you guys, and I'm sure many of you are of age, right? I can assure you there are a lot worse goalkeepers that Spurs have had. What else did he say? What else was interesting? He made Romero captain. I'll ask a question. Who else would you have made captain? Who's an obvious choice for the captaincy at Tottenham Hotspur? Who's the obvious choice? I don't know. And by the way, we could do a whole session on me showing you every comment I get from people. And you guys would not believe it. Some of you probably would find it funny because you do it yourselves. But if I showed you the number of comments I get on a daily basis, you guys would, honestly, you would not believe me. You would not believe me. Let me let you know how this conversation went between me and this guy. Are you ready? So he said, so I said to him on the back of that, I said, where's the maturity? You can't just speak waffle, right? Maybe when you get a bit older, you'll mature. And he said, you keep saying Spurs are 6th, but everyone knows that's not where we will finish by the end of this season. Well, first and foremost, I don't know where we're going to finish. You guys don't know where we're going to finish. We can only predict. Frank's biggest achievement has been not getting Brentford relegated. You think that type of manager is going to take Spurs forward? May as well have got in Sean Dyche. You have zero standards, and fans like you are exactly the problem why Spurs have achieved barely anything in the past 30 years. You blindly accepting mediocrity and contribute to the culture of failure. I had to then at this point out, sure, I'm the problem. What happened when we brought in Jose and Conte, two of the most successful managers from the last 20 years? How did that go? To which he said, Glasner would have been a much better manager than Frank. Frank, whose only claim to fame is blowing a 2-goal lead in the cup final with 10 minutes to go. Now, this is the level of Spurs fans that we've got right now, right? This is the level. By the way, I'll tell you what, Hendra. I'll tell you what. If I showed you the audience breakdown, let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you. Right? Would you like to see my audience breakdown? I can show you. Right? It's not as young as you think. Let me show you. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no anything in there about revenue or anything personal. No, there we go. So let's have a look at this. All right. So this is my audience age breakdown. I don't know if you can see that. If it might be a bit small. Let me just blow that up for you. There you go. So the bulk of my viewers are between the ages of 25 and 54. That's the bulk, right? 25 and 54. So it's not even like I can say the bulk of my audience that are saying stupid stuff are between the ages of 13 and 24. I've only got 12% of my following between the age of 13 and 24. So this is grown-ass adults. This is adults most of the time. Adults. Truly worrying, right? Truly. Barney, you're going to get blocked again. You're just being a dick. You're being a dick. I don't understand how you keep coming back and doing it. This is what I mean. People like that, it's really difficult being a YouTuber, right? It's very, very funny. Honestly, it is very, very funny when you're a YouTuber and the things you see on a daily basis. That's just, it is the way it is. It is the way it is. I'm just going to see if I can. I'm just going to try and see if I can show you some things, but actually, I won't do that. That will just go on forever. So, this is what I don't. This is what I don't get. I don't understand. Surely as a fan base, we knew that a new manager coming in, there was going to be some time needed. There was going to be some transfer windows needed. You look at Frank's teams at Brentford, how they evolved over the years. Differences at Spurs, we don't have the years to allow to evolve. So what we've got to do is buy the right players in the transfer window. And for me, I hope some of you can now see, when I said I didn't think the transfer window was great, and many people said, oh, you're just negative and you're being negative. I hope a lot of you can now hopefully see why I said what I said. It wasn't I'm being negative. It was more realistic because I knew what would happen. I said in the summer, what will happen is we won't be able to play good football because of the players we've signed, and then our fans will get frustrated. But these same fans are the same fans that say we have had a great window. Look at the option on the left, look at the option up front, look at the options in the number 8. That's not a team that's had a great window. That's a team that did the bare minimum to replace players that left. Look at what Arsenal did in the window. Now that's a team that did everything they needed to do. Goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, wingers, strikers, all bought in. All bought in. Trust me, we've got a really good manager. We do. We have a really, really good manager. But we have a really good manager that doesn't have the squad he needs to play the way he plays. And I think the worst thing about this is, I said this on last night's show, and tell me if you agree with me in the chat. Tell me if you agree with me. When I look at the breakdown of the forwards and attacking players that Thomas Frank had at Brentford when he left, they're better than the forwards he's got at Tottenham Hotspur now. And that's a real sad indictment. That's really, really sad, isn't it? That he's left a much smaller club with a second lowest wage bill in the Premier League. And we've got worse forwards than them. You think last year that front four of Wissa and Buemo, Damsgaard and Sharda, and he had Thiago out injured the whole season. You think that's what he had at Brentford. Now you look, he's got Richarlison, Tell, Odegaard, Johnson. Yeah, we've got Kudus. We know we've got Kudus, but it's not right, is it? It's really poor. It's really, really, really poor. And until we address this, I don't think we're going to be great going forward. And you know the problem, guys and girls? We'll have the same problem tomorrow night. We'll have the same problem via Everton. We'll have the same problem versus Newcastle, then Chelsea, then Copenhagen, then Man United. And everyone will go, oh, how has Frank not fixed this? Well, you fix those things in the transfer window. And we didn't. We had the chance and we didn't. And then people, my issue with a lot of football fans and YouTubers is everyone seems too scared to say what they want to say in fear of being abused. It's all safe. Everyone says safe things. This player's going to be great. That player's going to be great. Great. We're Tottenham. Now, when I say that, I don't mean we're not Liverpool. We're not City. You know, we've not won what Man U have over the years. But we're a big football club in this country. We're like the 6th biggest football club in this country. I don't want my attack to be worse than Brentford's and Bournemouth's. I don't want my attack to be worse than Brighton Hove Albion. I look at Newcastle. And again, do you know what? Newcastle's a funny club to talk about because when you look at Newcastle, they're 5 points. Let's have a look. Let me double check this. So Newcastle United are 5 points behind Spurs. I don't see anyone saying Eddie Howe out. I don't see anyone throwing their toys out the pram. Why? Why Spurs fans? We're 5 points above Newcastle United right now. It's all calm in their fan base. Why have we got fans absolutely moaning about everything? We are moaning about everything. Everything and anything. This manager is doing a good job with what he's got. It's not good enough for some. And I think that's a real sad indictment on the Spurs fan base. I think it's a real sad indictment on the Spurs fan base. Have a look at this. Nope, don't have a look at that. That's not what I wanted to show you at all. That's my buy me a coffee. Where are we? Too many tabs open. Have a look at this. If I had said after the first 8 Premier League games, this will be the table, who would have really complained at the beginning of the season? Let's be brutally honest. Who would have complained? The only team above us that you would probably say, oh, that's a little bit of an anomaly, you would say is Bournemouth. It's the only one. If I said to you, after 8 games, we're going to be behind Chelsea, Liverpool, City and Arsenal, most fans would go, yeah, it sounds about right. It's only because Bournemouth have had such a good start. By the way, Bournemouth have been brilliant and they're only 1 point in front of us. Right? Bournemouth are 1 point in front of us. Yet their manager's getting praised, getting waxed lyrical. Our manager's being told that he's crap. He should go back to Brentford and he's really poor. Hang on, if I refresh that 1 second. And isn't that a sad indictment of where we are as a football club? That the big 4 in the country are above us and Bournemouth. By the way, Chelsea are only above us on goal difference. And yet, people want the manager out. It's crap. Look at the goal difference. For a team that apparently are really, really boring, look at our goal difference. Who's got a better goal difference in this country than us? Man City and Arsenal. 2 teams with a better goal difference. And again, and then you get people like this that everything they want to do is to put the club down. We've played Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Brighton, Man City. None of those are relegation candidates or bottom half teams. So no. So no, this is not true. This is not the correct context. This is what I mean. You get fans like this that just lie. We've played half our games against promoted teams or relegation contenders. So don't they count? Do those games not count? Just asking for a friend. Do those games not count? And again, this isn't true. City is the only tough team we've met. Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Brighton. But look, again, the problem, I'll call it out, the problem with fans like Coulson, think about what Coulson is saying here. Right now, he's saying we should have beat Brighton, right? A team we never beat away. And Villa and Bournemouth, 2 very good football teams. Right? Okay, so let's use, so Coulson, right? Coulson thinks that Tottenham should be on 8 points more than we're on. So Coulson thinks we should be top of the league by 3 points right now. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And then again, what excuse? What excuse for what? We're sitting nicely in the table. What's the excuse? I don't know why we've got so many childish fans. What excuse for what? There's no drama. There is no drama. We're in the top 6 where we should be. There's no drama. What is the problem, people, with where we are in the league? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it at all. I don't understand. Let me tell you this. For example, Everton's a tough game. The next league game is a tough game away, right? If we win that game, it'll be, oh, it was only Everton. If we lose that game, right, it'll be, oh, we can't even beat Everton. There's no, I'm not sure what the drama is. Like right now, I think as a level-headed fan, I sit here and go, okay, cool. This is pretty much what I expected. Last 6, 1-2, lost 2, drawn 2, up and down, up and down, up and down. And we're sitting 6th in the table, the big 4 above us, and then Bournemouth. Like, I don't see the drama. People keep going, oh, you wouldn't have excused Ange. But what? Ange wasn't sitting 6th. If Ange had been sitting 6th, there wouldn't have been any problems. Right? Now, Joe, you don't tell me what to do. I don't know who you are. It's madness. And Ethan, big up to you. Not seen you for ages, bro. How you doing? Agreed. Last season, we were literally losing week in, week out. And yet there were excuses every week for it. Every week, excuse. This week, this season, we've only lost 2 in the league, and we've lost 2 in all competitions. Yeah, but every club could say this. Have a look at the team in 4th. Guys, have a look at the team in 4th, Liverpool. Liverpool have lost 4 games on the bounce in all competitions. Right? Imagine that was Thomas Frank. Imagine that was Thomas Frank. Had lost 4 in all competitions. Look how our fans are treating Frank, who's lost 1 in 8. Liverpool have lost 4 in a row. We've lost 1 in 8. Chelsea. Look at Chelsea's last 4 Premier League games. They lost 2 in their last 4. And again, this isn't true. Again, this is not true. These are made up facts. These are not true. I just feel like there needs to be a level of, again, this is not true. We've got the stats and facts. Again, this isn't true. Last season, the beginning of the season, Spurs lost 5 out of the first 12 games when everyone was fit. So this is not true. And again, this is true. We do. We have lots of players out now. But I don't like that excuse. That's just me personally. Sam Smith, I mean, Deji said it at the weekend. By the way, I wasn't even referring to Spurs YouTubers, so I'm not sure. Again, the problem is when you get a lot of trolls that come in and do this, they're saying things that I've not even said. No one's talking about Spurs YouTubers. But thank you. Of course we do. Yeah, agreed. I think it's going to be a number of windows. And a lot of this now, Subdue, for me, is going to be based on, you know, what do the Lewis family want for this football club? You know, what do they want? You Spurs, I'm going to block you if you keep doing this. Because Thomas Frank isn't sitting in 17th in the Premier League. I believe in Frank because Frank's football isn't gung-ho. I mean, we lose 22 games in a season. I don't understand how childish this is from you every comment. I went for Ange because I've never seen us as bad for 18 months. We lost something like 34 games in 60 or something. Like, it was atrocious, mate. But this isn't about Ange Postecoglou. I've never known so many adults that are so silly. And that is the big question, Pete. Barney, they're not facts. First 12 games of last season, Spurs lost 5. Van der Ven and Romero played in every single one of them. Right? We lost 5 of the first 12. So we nearly lost, what was that? What's that? 40%, 44% of our games? This season, we've lost 2 in 8. I feel like maybe I'm half problem YouTuber and that. Maybe I am. But there's too many people now just saying so many silly things, like really, really silly things because it makes them stand out. Sure, but sorry. So let me again. The level of immaturity in this comment. So every year, do Spurs beat every single team in the bottom 3 every time we play them? No, we don't. Sava only knows those who buy him a coffee, even if I've no idea what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. Sam Smith, and why have some of the performances been bad? Look at the players at his disposal. Tell, Odeber, Richarlison, Johnson. We haven't got a ball-playing midfielder. We haven't got a good striker. We haven't got a good left winger. We are a very unbalanced football club. We're a very Sam Smith, what did I say in the summer? All summer when you were abusing me on every single show I went on. What did I say? Don't expect miracles this year. Spurs have not got the players for it. It's going to be like that. We're going to be up and down, up and down. This is everything I thought would happen. This is everything I thought was going to happen. We've only lost 2 games. I said he'd make us hard to beat. We won't lose many games, but it's going to be tough to watch because we have not got the players. And that's what happens when you don't have good, solid transfer windows. When you don't buy what you need, this is what you get. You can let Son go. There's no problem with letting Son go. But if you don't replace him, you're weaker. if you don't buy a striker of note, you are going to be weak up front. These are real common sense things. These are real common sense things. Absolutely more common sense. If we got a proper 8 in, a top left winger and a top striker, and we still played like this, absolutely. But do you know what's funny, Gary? I'll tell you what's funny about this. And I said this on a show yesterday. For all the people abusing Frank already, for all these people saying we have to win this, have to win that, these are the same people that made excuses last year when Ange lost to Ipswich and Leicester, right? These are the same fans. These are the same fans that would do anything to back that regime, even though we lost most weeks. I think I've just become a little bit fed up with how silly it's all got. If I'm honest, you can see from my body language and my tone, I'm just so deflated with how silly it has got. I've just got really deflated with it all. Like everything is. The problem is there's too many football fans. This is one of them. Barney is another one. Tony is another one. Tony, but the same players that lost 22 league games last season. There's too many fans that don't seem to actually support Tottenham. It's every time Spurs don't win a game, these people appear. I don't see them when we're winning. You've had your chance. You're being rude again. See you later. I don't understand what's so difficult. When you're rude to me, I will block you. I don't understand why these people don't get it. If you're going to be rude, I will block you. Just talk football. I've never, ever known an era where managers are wanted out after 12 games managing a club and have lost 2. I've never known anything like it. I've never known anything like it. And I'm genuinely, I'm starting to not really know what to do with football YouTube. If I'm honest, I'm just being honest, guys. I'm just being honest. I'm just starting to really lose the love for the content. I'll be honest. Every day is just abuse from people like this. Every day it's just abuse. I go on any show. I say anything. It's just abuse. It's just childish comment after childish comment after childish comment. It's comments that people wouldn't say to your face if they saw you in a pub. And I'll be honest, guys. I try and get behind a manager that hasn't really done anything wrong, and then I'm wrong for that, and then you're wrong for everything. I don't think we're going to win the next 3 games. I think we've got 3 very difficult away games coming up. We've got 3 very difficult away games coming up, and the problem is fans will get on his back again. We've got Monaco away tomorrow night in the Champions League. That's not going to be easy. I'll take a draw all day. Everton away is not an easy game for anyone. And then Newcastle away. These are tough games. I don't expect any Spurs manager to just keep winning. Tony, mate, Tony, just stop. It's the same comment every day from you. Just stop. Dude, I'm so bored of hearing about Ange. Just stop, Tony. No, Daniela, I'll be honest, it has. I've just got to the point now where every live show it's too much. Every comment I get is too much. I'm just a bit, I've just got a bit drained with it all. I just got a bit drained with it all. And apparently liking Thomas Frank means you get abused. I don't get it. I don't know any manager that wins every game. I don't know any manager that wins every game. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. I don't know any manager that wins every game. And we're at a stage as a society now, aren't we? We're at a stage as a society where after every single game we don't win now is Frank out. This manager, not just Spurs, Maresca out, Frank out, Howe out, this person out, everyone out. Like, I don't know who's happy with their manager. I'm seeing Slot out. I'm seeing Maresca out. Arsenal fans not happy with Arteta. Out. Everyone out. Like, aren't we getting to the stage where this is just getting really, really silly? Look, of course they're difficult games. These are good teams. I don't think Spurs have a squad where you look and go, well, that's not a difficult game. Every game is going to be difficult. And if you guys want to know this is what I mean, right? This is the side of YouTube that you just can't. Unfortunately, those people exist. He's been blocked, but everyone needs to be. Listen, like, we have fans that every time we play a team, they say this will be 4-0. This will be 4-0. This will be 4-0, and you're like, come on, man, like. Sorry, we don't think Aston Villa is going to be a tough game. We don't think that Aston Villa is going to be a tough game. The second most informed team in the country, but we've got fans thinking that's an easy game. Bournemouth is an easy game. I'm told every game is no, you're not listening. Doesn't mean we can't win any of them, but you can't just turn around and go, that's an easy game. That's an easy game. Then when Spurs win games, they get told, oh, it's only because it's easy. So West Ham away. We never win at West Ham. We won there this year. Leeds away. It's not an easy game. It's not an easy game. Leeds haven't lost at home for 14 months. Not many teams are going to go to Leeds and get wins this year. I'll be surprised if they lose too many home games. But I don't know. I don't know what we expect as fans anymore. I don't know what we expect. I don't know who is looking at our squad and saying this game's going to be. I look at the forward line, right? I look at the forward line. And I don't think any game's going to be easy with that forward line in play. I don't. I really don't. I really don't look at any game and go, that's easy. Because I look and I think, well, would this forward line get into those teams? And I get it, right? Listen, I was Ange out. I was Ange out when it was poor for a long time. But people are Frank out and nothing's happened. Nothing's really happened, has it? There's no drama. There is no drama. For the last 7 or 8 years, Tottenham have been like this as a football club. Been like this as a football club. Up and down, up and down. We've got a manager who's lost 2 out of his first 12. And people just want to get on his back. And I think the really sad thing for me on all of this is most people get on his back because he's the manager after Ange. They can't get over it. But he is awful. Right now, he's awful. You can say he needs time, but right now, he's awful. He's not a good player. He should not be in a Spurs team. And again, these old fans have a mediocre mid-table mentality. Dude, it's nothing to do with age. If you want to be at the top of the table constantly, you need the best players. You need to buy better footballers. I just feel like that's I just feel like that's common sense. But again, see comments like this. So far, Leeds United have played 4 games at home in the Premier League and they've only lost 1 of them. So again, showing that they're not easy to beat at home. So again, people, you've got to do some fact checking. Isn't to raise the floor of the squad? Well, we did, yeah. They were 17th last year. Currently, we've lost 2 games in 12 and we're sitting 6th, 2 points off second. You're saying it's easy setting up a defence and putting 2 defensive midfielders, is it? Then why doesn't every manager do it if it's that easy? If it's that easy, why are West Ham losing every week? If it's that easy, why couldn't Forest win a game in 8? If it's that easy, why are Wolves losing every week? See, again, we're not thinking about what we're saying. I tell you what, great comment. Superb comment. Superb comment. Superb comment. We don't know who to blame. Don't know who to blame. I don't even see. But again, this isn't true. So again, so when people lie like this isn't true. Spurs are second in the league for goals in open play. The percentage of goals we score from open play, we're second. So we're not relying on set pieces. And we're not relying on throw-ins. This is the problem. People make things up. Then he'll watch Sam Smith. He'll abuse me and get annoyed at me now because he's told a lie. So why didn't we look good in defence last year or the year before? Look, I'm not going to go on for too long. I'm actually live tonight at 7:45. We're doing the Champions League. I actually like doing the stuff that isn't Spurs. I like doing the stuff that isn't Spurs. It gets me less abuse, if I'm honest. Look, at the end of the day, you've got to play to your strengths. At the moment, our strengths aren't going forward. We haven't got the players for it. But Brentford were excellent going forward last season. They had the players for it. And the same manager we got now. You can have all the pace in the world you want. But if those pacey forwards are Tell and Odegaard and Johnson and Richarlison, again, Sam, no offense, what you're showing me is you don't understand the difference between pace and footballers, right? You've got Tell, Odegaard, Johnson, Richarlison, Odegaard. Like, what are we doing here? These players don't score many goals for a reason in their career. They don't get many assists in their career for a reason. I don't understand when common sense left the building. This is what's really got me questioning YouTube, guys. Really got me questioning YouTube. You know, I try and have some sensible football conversations, and there's just too much silliness for me around this world. There's too much silliness. Everything is my dad's bigger than your dad type environment. You can't. As I said, if Tell, Odegaard, Solanke, that's really Solanke, Johnson, Richarlison, if these guys played for Burnley, who's asking to buy them? Which Spurs fan is going, that's who we need? But yet, because they're in a Spurs shirt, we expect suddenly that we're going to be really good going forward. Can I ask you a question, guys? For all of those that watch me, right? You all heard me say in the summer my exact feelings on Spurs' window and what will happen this season. Everything I said would happen has happened. Everything. I said we will ask questions after every game. Before every game and after every game, we are going to be arguing about who starts on the left, who starts up front, who starts in midfield, because we didn't do what we needed to do. I said we will be up and we will be down most weeks because we've got a very average squad. I said we will be up and we will be down because the manager needs time to figure out the players and the system. And we're playing 2 games a week. I said that this year we should be aiming for top 6, 7th, 5th if we do really, really well. But again, look at the state of this. Under Jose and Conte, we had Son and Kane. What are you not getting about this? We had Son and Kane in our counter-attacks. And Bale, what are you talking about? You can't just put poor players on a pitch and say, go on. I just feel like this is what I mean. Unfortunately, there are people on YouTube and the internet that just do this again. No name, no real picture, and they just say lots and lots of silly things where they know it's not true. As I said, if this forward line was at any other club, we'd be laughing and going, look at the state of their forward line. When it's Spurs, we go, come on, Thomas Frank. You need the players. We've got no Maddison, no Kulu, no Son from last year, no Solanke. You've got to replace these footballers. You've got to replace them. You've got to buy better. Got to buy better. Even Lucas Moura was better. Absolutely. Look at Moura compared to the likes of Tell and Odeber. Superior. Didn't even think he was great. He was all right. And he's superior to these players. Exactly. And how many of them are available? 2. One of them's just joined. 2 of them have just joined. Mad, isn't it? All managers have injuries. All managers have injuries. It's why I don't use it as an excuse. It's why I don't use it right now. Thomas Frank's got defenders missing, midfielders missing, forwards missing. It is what it is. This is why it's a squad game. You do what you do. Isn't it funny, right? When we were losing week after week last year and playing poorly, there was an excuse. This year, we're not losing week after week because the manager makes us hard to beat. And then people get annoyed that it's defensive. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. All I asked for last year was, yeah, we've got injuries. Sure, every club does. Yeah, we've not got the greatest squad in the world, but be hard to beat. And we weren't last year, were we? We just went wide open. This manager this season realizes we've got to be harder to beat. He makes us harder to beat, and everyone goes, oh, it's really boring. It's really boring. I miss last year's football. What do we do? I feel like the Spurs fan base is the worst I've ever seen it, if I'm honest. I think it's the worst I've ever seen it. I truly believe that. I truly believe it. Big up to FK Arsenal. Big up to you, my bro. Hope you're well. Lovely to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you very much. Paul Langley with a super sticker. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate you. Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate that. Smoky boy. So I support the team through thick and thin. 68 me. Big up, Smoky boy. Thank you. Always very generous to me. So I really appreciate you. Look, I don't think I don't think there's anything wrong with critiquing, but I feel like there's no common sense anymore. And I'll end it with this, right? The common sense has got to come back. Got to come back to football. The internet, I'll be honest, and I know I obviously know as a YouTuber, I'm part of this problem. The internet and everyone just having access to type whatever they want has killed any sensible football chat. But based on what? See, again, but based on what has the appointment been terrible? He's lost 2 out of 12. What's terrible about it? See, let's see. Let's wait and see if we get a concise football answer. Tell me what's terrible. Be fair, you've used the adjective terrible. Scott, the football's going to be boring with the standard of players that we've got. How is Frank terrible? He's done nothing terrible so far. Oh, Tony, dude, you've got one more chance. One more of these. If you keep talking about Ange, I'm going to block you for good. Stop. It is so boring. We understand you love Ange. We understand you love Ange more than Tottenham. Please, we get it. But it's so fucking boring now. Stop. It's so boring. Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. Thomas Frank has said it himself. The Ange loving still. Okay, but that didn't answer the question. So why was it terrible? Let me ask you then, Luna. Why didn't Jose and Conte win? Here you go. We'll wait one more. Why didn't Jose and Conte win a trophy at Spurs then? We hired 2 winners. They didn't win anything. Why? I'll wait. I'm going to wait for Luna Richo's answer because that ends all debates. This ends all debates. Come on then, Luna. Come on, Luna. So it was a terrible appointment because he's never managed a big team. Well, one, would you say Spurs are a big team at the moment? Secondly, what about... there you go. Iriola's never won a trophy. Everyone wants him. I'll tell you, let's ask this question to Luna. Luna, who do you want as manager then? Who do you want as manager? Absolutely. Who do you want as manager, Luna? Let's see. Who do you want as manager then? So it was a terrible appointment. There you go. Conte wasn't back to Mourinho got sacked after getting us to a final. The answer is Daniel Levy. Okay. But the point is, those were 2 winners. So you would have preferred Glasner or Xavi. Okay, so Luna. So when Tottenham hire Glasner and he doesn't move away from his wing-back system and fans are going, he doesn't ever change formation. Oh, we shouldn't have got him. Would have been the same thing. Listen, I would have liked Xavi. I like Xavi as a manager. Right? But think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. Diggs, you're right. They're not real Spurs fans. These aren't Spurs fans. These aren't Spurs fans anymore. As I said, like that Tony guy in the chat, he's not a Spurs fan. He's an Ange fan. And there's nothing wrong with that. Forwards aren't the issue. I can assure you the forwards are very much the issue at this football club. Fans acknowledge this isn't currently a winning squad, but want a winning manager. Ethan, they don't get it. Let's get rid of this Tony. He's pissed me off now for months. It's so boring. It is just Ange. Go and support whatever. There you go. He's banned for good. Go and support whoever Ange manages next. See, this is where I would put up with Frank's football if he had the record of winning things. So let me get this straight. So if we had Glasner right now, but we're playing the same way, that's fine because Glasner's won things. That just shows me you're a troll with absolutely zero common sense. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Honestly, I need to give this YouTube thing a think over the next few weeks because it's just so boring. It's so stupid. I for once thought, you know what? We've got a manager that people can give a bit of time, get behind somebody. No, can't do it. Can't do it. No one will get behind any manager. Sure. Who gets backed at Spurs to win a league? Think about it. Who gets backed at Spurs to win a league? No one. When people keep talking about bringing a winning manager, sure, we've done that, but we don't back them to win things. Guys, take care. Much love. Sorry, these people are killing my passion for Spurs and football. I'll be brutally honest. I'll see you at 7:45, 2 hours. We do a Champions League live score show where we stop getting these fucking idiots in and we just talk some football. Take care. Hang on. Let me see if I can send you somewhere. Sorry, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's send you somewhere. It's almost like these people are waiting for us to lose, and that's what I hate about it. Who's live? Saeed is live. I'll send you over to Saeed. There you go. Saeed's live. When you get there, just say football Sava raid and enjoy your evenings if I don't see you tonight. Take care. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.